How's it going, friends? BB here, welcome back to my channel. So stoked to have you here today to talk about the Coalition event, which is the first time Raid has really done something of this sort before. Or at least that's what I know. I wanted to take the time and go through the missions with you guys, because I didn't really have the time to check all of them out. And I decided, no, this is worth a whole separate video, so let's dive right in. First thing first, the Coalition event is running for 3 more weeks and 3 days from this moment on. More than enough time for us to gain points, even after the fusion is complete. Now I want you to look at how many points we've made together, all of us as a team. All players on the same server. So whoever I'm in the server with have been busy. We're already way past the first milestone and we're on to the second one. Being a 5-star chicken, I have just about 70 more points to be able to collect these rewards because you need to have at least 1,500 points to snatch them. And you also have personal at the very bottom. Depending on how many points you've made, you also have mini milestones and very good rewards, may I add. The more juicy rewards I see start around the 3,500 point. I would love a rank 4 chicken, and from then onwards, it's pretty good rewards. Don't forget to click on my link in the description to get a free legendary Norma, as well as Anax, Ugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up your account. Here is how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, go to your inbox and claim your first champ. This will give you a huge advantage in Raid, so go click on my link right now and let's crush this together. Now I want to take a look at these quests. I've done a lot of them, but there's also a lot that I haven't touched. These are super straightforward. These reset every day. I really like the fact that we have repeat quests that you can just keep doing. And it tells you how many times you've completed it, how much you have earned so far from these repeat quests. And these are the ones that don't change, they're limited. Once you complete them, they're done. I've completed some here in the basic ones. The only ones that I really have left are Ice Golem, Fire Knight, Dragon's Lair, and 30 artifacts at the Forge. I'm not rushing these because I'm about to do them now with the fusion, most of them anyway. Now when we go to the Expert Quest tab, we see that you can earn points when you get Dallin Foulbeard, and a lot more quests connected to obtaining Dallin Foulbeard and working on and building him out. You have to upgrade his skills fully, which takes a whole library to do. Clear stage 10 or higher of the event dungeon with Dallin, unlock his masteries, awaken him to level 3 or higher, and then we move on to more in-game related quests like Sand Devil, Phantom Shogun, Iron Twins, Hydra, Chimera, in some arena, guys, some live arena. You even have some Curse City. No Doom Towers from what I'm seeing, so no Doom Tower. And then in the Elite quests, we only have 2 connected to Foulbeard. One of them being awaken him to level 5, and then the other one being clear stage 30 or higher of the event dungeon with Dallin. Anything else is very much reminiscent of the clan quests. And there's some good points here, some good points. Some hard Curse City from what I can see. Hard dungeons. So they're very much separated early game, mid game, and game. Now that means that there are only a limited amount of points that you can earn from these limited quests. Duh, BB. But I wanted to jot down on the getting Dallin Foulbeard missions and the ones that are connected to him. Let's count how many points they give in total. Just the expert missions give you 1,100 points. With the elite, you have 1,700 points in total that you earn from completing the fusion and working on Dallin and being able to awaken him to level 5 or clear the event dungeon up until stage 30. 1,700 points. Realistically, if you are not going for the fusion and you don't want to do anything Dallin related, yes, you will be apprehended from getting these 100 Twisted Horns, the mythical relics, sure, okay, but if you've already gone all this way, wouldn't it be super easy for you to get Dallin anyway? Just to participate, you might not want to play around with him, but if you can get to the very end, you should be able to complete the fusion. So I don't know what people are crying about, once again. This is a great event. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best events that Raid has come up with. I love the idea of working together with people to make a total amount of points and then all of us getting rewards from it, you know? It gives incentive for everyone to grind to their best abilities. Nobody's saying that as an early gamer, you are going to get to the elite quests. Like, nobody's asking you to clear stage 10 or higher of the Fire Knight's castle on hard. You know what I mean? Nobody's asking you to do that. You do whatever quest to your best abilities, and the good thing is that we will have even more time after the fusion is complete to kind of focus on the coalition event as a breather after this whole thing is done. And if you've done what I did and you pulled during the summon rush and you got yourself the epic, we're gonna get there a little bit earlier. I personally love completing quests and following a straightforward line of progression of a game, you know, so this is very reminiscent of how I like playing. So this is gonna keep me occupied for a little while, and these basic quests, very easy to complete. They take nothing out of you. You will complete them while you participate in events without even noticing. These ones are a little bit grindier. I don't know why these aren't leveling up. I have way too many champions to level up now, guys. Now I'm done with all of the events that are currently active, except the champion training, which I'm halfway done with. Just a couple more minutes of grinding and leveling up everybody, and I'll be done with that. And I'm waiting for the next Dungeon Divers to start so we can dip down in Ice Golem. And not now necessarily, when I've already done... Well, I could get some superior oils, but we're working with a limited amount of energy. And I don't think that for an hour and 7 minutes I can get to the very top here. Is the truth. So you guys, what do you think about the coalition event? Do you dig it? Are you trying to get yourself to climb up here at the top 100 players? Shout out to absolutely every single one on the first couple of... But how do you make so many points? How? How? Is this just live arena? How much do you play? Okay, I'll go and spend my keys in Iron Twins. Maybe try and push stage 15? We'll see. And let's actually take a look at these relics and see what they're about. Whether, you know, the mythical ones or anything wowza. Covetous Passion, where receives a 15% shatter buff for 2 turns at the start of a round. That's the buff that Karasa comes with. Has a 30% chance to place a 15% shatter buff on the wearer for 1 turn upon killing an enemy. Well, this is great. This is awesome. Especially if they're not thinking of implementing a lot of champions with the shatter and the fortify buffs. This is really good. Really good for nukers. Crown of Corruption, where it deals 5% more damage and receives 5% speed. When above 50% HP, below 50% HP, where it deals 25% less damage and loses 15% speed. So, what's the opposite of a Berserker? This is cool. The 5% speed increase might stack nicely, but it's not better than the Covetous Passion. I think this is a better one. I don't know. It depends on the situation. It depends on what you want to use it for. What kind of champion, you know? Skull of Treason. We're starting with the legendaries now. HP burn debuffs placed by the wearer deal 10% more damage to enemies with higher max HP. Oh, this on Geomancer would go so hard. And I really do hope that I can forge myself one of these for Geo. My god. This would be amazing. Gilded Pinion. It's a wing. Where receives 1% less damage for each turn on cooldown on all their skills. What? Where receives 1%. I need to repeat it again. 1% less damage for each turn of cooldown on all their skills. What do you mean by that? You mean as they're on cooldown? So 1% less damage for each turn? So say, okay, say your A2 is on a 3-turn cooldown and your A3 is on a 4-turn cooldown. Does that mean that we get 7% less damage? That's how this should work. This is also very cool if that's how it works. There is relic lore, guys. This is new. The Cat's Gaze also has a relic lore. Oh my god. What about Grail of Agony? What does it do? When enemies steal or decrease the wearer's turn meter, the wearer instead loses 2% max HP for every 1% turn meter that would have been lost or stolen. Can kill the wearer. So instead of having the turn meter decreased, we just take damage instead. Now this would work if paired with some kind of a block damage, unkillable mechanic. It could work. Death is too good for some, so says Stalin Foulbeard. Some must know pain beyond that for their deeds. So he forged the chalice of dark iron laced with curses of agony, the skulls of the deserving placed within. This is a vibe. Gaze of Damnation, where deals 2% more damage per skill activated. Stacks up to 10% and receives 1% less damage per skill not activated by enemies under fear or true fear debuffs. Ah, because up until that point it didn't make sense. So this paired with someone who does bring that fear or true fear. Tempus Morbidia. Decrease and steel turn meter effects are 15% less effective against the wearer. Pretty sick. And Sinner's Cloak. Wearer receives 1% defense for each 15%. Stacks up to 75% missing HP. This is really, really cool. We have some really good, really cool relics up here. It's such a shame that the mythical materials are so hard to get, but to be fair, you can get a mythical relic without using mythical materials to fuse it. There is a chance, alright? See? Even with just rares, you get a 0.01% chance of fusing a mythical. Not that that's ever clutched, but if you decide to use legendary relics, the chance increases to 0.5. So if we get our hands on some legendary Twisted Horns, I'd still be happy. How far along are they? I also know the legendaries sit quite up top. 14,100 points for 50 legendary Twisted Horns, and then 16,100 for 100 of them. Quite the grind. For some of us, probably impossible. I kind of thought about how I argued that people that can get to the last milestones should be able to complete the fusion. Yes, but what if they don't want to? What if they just don't want Thalin? See what I mean by coercive? This game can get coercive. It can feel a little or else. I keep seeing it, and I keep saying it too, and I don't realize how it sounds until a couple of minutes pass and I've already hit the stop button. And then I think about what I said and I'm like, oh my god. But what if they don't want to? We should have a choice, no? Stay vigilant. I wish you guys a successful fusion if you're going for it. And I'll be looking forward to your comments. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye!